Hello. It's been an interesting, I was going to say 24 hours, but actually it has been a very interesting month on the Neymar situation. So I think most of the outlets we've published that the deal is off. I know that Leonardo has said that until the midnight on the 2nd, on Monday, everything is possible. Barcelona is sending exactly the same message. So obviously, PSG are waiting for the definite offer of Barcelona, and Barcelona hope to maybe put something together to impress PSG. But the look of it right now, and this comes from the Neymars themselves, he's very disappointed because he feels it's not going to happen. It's been interesting also in the way that we've had to report the situation because few points on this. One, it has been a very open negotiation from both sides, from PSG, from the three sides really, from PSG, from Neymar, and from Barcelona. And I'll try to get to the bottom of it, and I'll ask a lot of questions once the market is closed. But how can I put it? Inside the camps and on the other side, there's been impressions like Barcelona feel that PSG haven't done everything possible to sell Neymar. What is more, they feel that perhaps they didn't want to sell Neymar. On PSG's side, it felt like Barcelona did not put all the efforts they could on getting Neymar. Getting Neymar would have put such a strain in the finances of Barcelona, and let's see if it eventually happens in the next 24 hours, which, as I said, everybody's saying is very unlikely. That pressure on the finances will continue. Again, it's something that we have to investigate in detail, but Barcelona is a mortgaged club already. They had to ask for a loan to get Griezmann. So imagine having to get the money that Neymar would have cost. What's interesting, of course, as well in terms of communication and telling the story, is that there's been so many sides to this story. Because not only PSG, Barcelona, and Neymar were leaking details. There's other parts of the story here, of course. There is an intermediate, very well known by everybody, who was part of the negotiations. And then, of course, Barcelona convinced Rakitic and Todibo to go to PSG. They've got their own agents too. And Dembélé was the last one that the last piece of the jigsaw that didn't come off. Yesterday, I was told by the people that are working as intermediates between the clubs and by PSG that they thought Dembélé could actually be convinced. That is taking advantage of the pressure, a lot of pressure that Dembélé has been put under. Eventually, he wasn't affected by that pressure, continued with his decision not to go to PSG. And of course, Barcelona still had to put about 130 million euros on top of Todibo, Rakitic, and Dembélé going on loan. And Sport, the Catalan newspaper, said that Neymar was willing to pay 20 million out of those 130, 20 million himself. And as I reported earlier, he was also willing to put his wages down. So there was all this effort that Neymar has put in. But it just has felt that has not been enough. And when a player wants to go so clearly and clubs don't agree, despite the fact that the offers are big, sometimes it suggests there wasn't enough interest in the whole thing to happen. So we'll see. But in any case, there are consequences to all of this. Let's assume that it's not going to happen, that it's not going to be a last-minute surprise. But keep an eye and a mind and an ear to the possibility, because, as I say, both clubs are saying, why not? Until the last minute, everything is possible. In any case, if it doesn't happen, there's few victims here. Valverde, the first one, of course, because he hasn't had a settled team. Hence the call from coaches, Spanish coaches, to get the market closed before the start of the season, like it has happened in England. Rakitic hasn't started any game, and I think he's only played the second half against Athletic Bilbao. Valverde feels that perhaps he couldn't play him in the circumstances. Rakitic has felt pushed by the club to go. So has Todibo, but now they're both staying. So has Dembele, but he's staying as well. Griezmann, I think he didn't like the idea of Dembele coming in, just generally because he would of Neymar coming in, because it would have meant a Luis Suarez, Messi, Neymar front three, and I'm not sure what his position would have been at that point. To be honest, Griezmann so far hasn't impressed. He was very good against Betis, not so good against Athletic Bilbao, and certainly not good at the weekend either. So you're talking about, and it was against Osasuna, a team that defended very, very well with their lives, but his movement wasn't that intelligent and he wasn't found by his teammates. So Griezmann, nobody's saying this is Griezmann's team already, and it's early anyway, but Messi will come back soon, I reckon, by the Valencia game after the international break. Luis Suarez could be back soon as well. And of course, without Neymar, let's assume that he's not coming, it will be a fight between Carlos Perez and Dembele when he comes back from injury, and Ansu Fati as well, the 16-year-old, for the third place up front. So things will calm down now. Griezmann will feel important and will have to grow. There is obviously Neymar having to come back to Paris, and I know that fans insulted him when it became clear that he wanted to go. But there will be a space for reconciliation, of course, because he will still play for PSG at least one more year. I think his bio clause goes down to 170 million euros, and I do believe Barcelona will try again next season, next summer, and it will be more likely because the valuation of PSG this summer was 200 to 215 million euros. That's a lot. That's the only thing that both clubs got an agreement on. So it has been a difficult few months for everybody because it affected other moves. So if Neymar had gone, perhaps PSG would have gone for Dybala or Icardi, etc. There was a domino effect. Now with Neymar staying, or so it seems, it will be time for everybody to settle. Interestingly enough, of course, Barcelona still don't understand why Neymar didn't make the step of saying, as Pogba has done this summer, I want to go to Barcelona. It would have made things easier in a way, Barcelona feel, even though they think that PSG didn't really want to sell. But as Neymar played with Real Madrid and Juventus as well, the possibility of them too, basically that step of pressure to PSG could not be used. But when he got to the end of the last few hours, the last day, when he was asked about it, it's like, only Barcelona. I only want to go to Barcelona. So Real Madrid abandoned the operation, abandoned the possible deal, saying, we were never interested anyway. Conversations with Real Madrid have been very fluid, and some even say that they offered James, possibly Bale as well, but in any case, and about 100 million. But something rejected by PSG. That has not been confirmed by either PSG or Real Madrid. So you're talking about something that we don't know, but Real Madrid wanted Neymar. No doubt about that. That's it. This is what we've got so far, and this is where we got to. Keep an eye on things, because I'll do new videos, regular videos, not necessarily related to the transfer market, but also with transfer stories in it. And for now, let's leave it at this. And I'll keep an eye on whatever happens with Neymar until the end. And after that, I'll write a blog for the BBC trying to explain the situation, how the whole Neymar transfer happened or didn't happen. Thanks for watching, and talk soon. Bye.